Hello, I'm Wynn Tashman, and for my media project, I really wanted to look into judicial review. So I interviewed a few of our classmates, and I asked them basic questions about who their favorite Supreme Court justice may be, or, a famous Supreme Court case they really liked, or just asking them to define judicial review. And basically, they gave me their own opinion, and so this is what they had to say.
So what can you tell me about Marbury versus Madison?
Not a lot, but I know it was recently after the Constitution went into effect, one of the first state court cases that the Supreme Court faced and it established judicial review.
Well, it was a Supreme Court case with Marbury versus Madison when they discussed judicial review or something regarding Supreme Court justices or some law passed in 1803 or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Marbury versus Madison was the first time the Supreme Court had ruled something unconstitutional and it established judicial review.
Thank you. Okay. Can you please loosely define judicial review for me?
Judicial review is the power granted to the Supreme Court justices in the judicial branch of government that allows them to determine whether or not legislation passed is constitutional.
When courts review laws if they're constitutional or not.
Judicial review is when the Supreme Court uses activism to rule on issues that can.
Remember earlier we mentioned the Supreme Court was once seen as ineffective, meaning it rarely overturned cases? Well, it wasn't until Chief Justice Marshall's court, which lasted from 1801 to 1835, that real authority was placed in the hands of the justices in form of judicial review. Judicial review is the power of the courts to review the decisions of another department or level of government. The court can interpret the constitutionality of the decisions and subsequent actions.
But the court did not get this power from the Constitution. Instead, it just claimed it for their own during the case of Marbury versus Madison, 1803.
Judicial review allows the Supreme Court to decide all final arbitrary questions regarding the U.S. Constitution.
Since Marbury versus Madison, the judicial branch has, at times, determined whether the actions of the President, the Congress, the American bureaucratic system, and the states themselves are indeed constitutional.
Put your fingers on the pulse of knowledge.
Okay. Who of all time is your favorite Supreme Court justice?
I like to use Judical Ginsburg.
Okay, that's a good reason.
John Jay, because he was first.
Okay, fine.
My favorite Supreme Court justice of all time has to be Warren because he was the justice in Brown v. Board of Education, and that established the foundation of all civil rights.
Oh, very nice. So if you were Supreme Court justice, what's the one issue you would really like to rule on?
I think it would be really interesting to be one of the justices to decide the marriage issue, or also gay adoption. There's already a law in place in Florida that allow men and women who find themselves as homosexual to adopt. That would be really interesting.
Okay, thank you.
Gay marriage, because I hate all the haters on the court.
Okay, thank you.
I'd really like to rule on gay rights, especially Don't Ask, Don't Tell, because it's such a big deal, and in this day and age we can't have people treating each other like that, and oppression like that, and it's just not fair. Somebody has to do something about it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gay marriage issue?
Gay marriage.
I'd really like to rule on gay rights, especially Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Good afternoon. Can you all hear me? I'm here because I believe in them. I'm here because don't ask, don't tell is wrong. It's unjust. And fundamentally, it is against all that we stand for as Americans. Doesn't it seem to be that don't ask, don't tell is backwards? Doesn't it seem to be, based on the Constitution of the United States, that we're penalizing the wrong soldier?
Should soldiers and the government be able to pick and choose what we are fighting for in the Constitution? Or who we are fighting for? I wasn't aware of this ambiguity in our Constitution. I thought the Constitution was ultimate. I thought equality was non-negotiable.
So, can you please tell me some hot issues that you think will make it up to the Supreme Court soon?
Well, I believe that don't ask, don't tell is really popular right now. I don't doubt that it will make it to the Supreme Court soon and be overturned.
2, 3.
Also, the Patriot Act has already been to the Supreme Court a few times, but I have a feeling that we haven't seen the last of it.
The Patriot Act, the most abominable, unconstitutional, hateful, from the point of freedom, piece of legislation since the Alien and Sedition Acts in 1798. Now you may say, well, what about the First Amendment? The First Amendment says Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech. But the Patriot Act says if you tell anyone, your spouse, your lawyer, your priest, your best friend, a judge in a federal courtroom, that's right, every challenge of the Patriot Act has been an anonymous challenge, because if you reveal to a judge in a courtroom that you received one of these self-written search warrants, you'll be arrested when you walk outside the courtroom. Congress just forgot about the First Amendment. Congress believes, Ron Paul and those freedom lovers to the contrary, that it can just override the principles of the supreme law of the land. What about the Fourth Amendment? What about the requirement of a judge before the government can get information from a financial institution? Congress said, forget about it. The times are too tough. It's too difficult. We don't want another 9/11. Here's the bargain. Give me your freedom, and I'll keep you safe. It has never worked. It makes us less free and unsafe. Where is this in the Constitution, that the Congress has this kind of power to authorize federal agents to override the fundamental law of the land?
I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill.
What? Patriot. I would say patriot. I know it.
Also, patriot. So, can you please tell me some hot issues that you think will make it up to the Supreme Court soon?
Well, I believe that ask, don't tell.
So what can you tell me about Marbury? I'm really smiling and I laugh, I'm sorry. So, can you please tell me some hot issues that you think will make it up to the Supreme Court soon?
Well, I believe that don't ask, don't tell is really popular right now. I don't doubt that it will make it to the Supreme Court soon and be overturned. Also, the Patriot Act has already been to the
No. Hey, Stacia, I would like to ask you some questions. Please state your name and grade for the camera.
Whether they should let me be alone. but today I am still just a